Welcome everyone. This is the Excel file that has the 30 observations for the income of 30 clinics. And we are going to calculate the confidence interval in this file. And this file is attached with this tutorial. First, this is the formula that we need to calculate the confidence interval. And here is our data. We have 30 observations. And we have here the scenario when the population variance is known. And the standard deviation of the variance here is 15,000. So before everything, to use this formula, there are several conditions that should be considered. First, the sample size should be 30 or more. And we have here 30 observations. So the first condition is attained. And what is the second condition? The second condition is, as we say, the population standard deviation is known. So based on that, we can use this formula. So first, we need to calculate the sample mean. And that's very simple in Excel. You can use the average function. I will double click to show you the function. We are typing here average, and here we have the range of the data. We have here the 30 observations. We can scroll down to be sure that we selected all the observations. And you can click enter to get the sample mean. So the sample mean is $184,700. So this is the sample mean. 15,000 is the population standard deviation which is given to us. And we calculated here the square root of n, which is 5.48. And to calculate the standard error, we divided the population standard deviation by the square root of n. I will double click to show you the formula. We divided this number by this number and click enter. We already have the sample mean and we have here the standard error. So what is left here is Z value. And let's see how we are going to get this value. We need to calculate the confidence interval when the confidence level is 95%. So that means alpha equal 5% and alpha by 2 is 0.025. So we need to find 1 minus 0.025, which equals 0.975. So this is 1 minus alpha 2. So let's go to the table to see how to obtain Z value. Click on this sheet and let's find 0.975. The values here start from 50. So if you go to the right, the value will keep increasing. So let's go down and keep searching for 0.975. We need to scroll down a little bit. And here we go. This is the value that we are looking for, 0.975. If we look at the left side, on the columns, we find this value, 1.90. We'll take this value, and if we look up, we will see the value here is 0.060. So Z value here equal 1.90 plus 0.060. So that's how we find Z value. Go back to 95%, Z 0.025 equal 1.9 plus 0.06, which equal to 1.96. And now we have all the ingredients we need to calculate the confidence interval. And I already calculated the lower and upper limits. So I will double click to show you how we calculated the lower and upper limit. First, we added here the sample mean, which is 148,700, minus, because we are calculating the lower limit, between parentheses, H9 here is the Z value, 1.96, times H8, which is the standard error. And that's it. You will see here that the value here is 143,332. Same thing for the upper limit. Instead of subtracting the margin of error, we are adding the margin of error. And we got here the upper limit, which is 154,068. So we already found the confidence level from this value to this value. And to interpret our finding, we say we are 95% sure the population mean income is located in this confidence level. It's somewhere from this value to this value. And the probability of error is only 5%. We could be 5% wrong in our conclusion. So let's go and do the calculation in 90% instead of 95%. Click on this sheet. Everything is the same except this time we got a different Z value. This time Z value is 1.6 plus 0.05 equal 1.65. And again, you can go to the Z table to find the value. So alpha is equal 10%. So Z of alpha divided by 2 is 0.05. And based on that, 1 minus 0.05, it's 0.95. So we need to find the Z value in this level. Go back to Z table and we say 0.95. So let's find this value. We don't have this value exactly. We have these two values, 0.949 and 0.951. So we can select either one. I will go to select 0.951. If we go to the left, we have 1.60 plus 0.040. So we are finding the addition of these two values. And that's how we got this value 1.65. And exactly we did the same thing, except here we replaced 1.96 by 1.65, which is the new Z value. And this time we got 144,181 to 153,219. Let's go again and try 99%. And this time we need to find 1 minus 0.005, which equals 0.995. And you can find it from the table. It will equal 2.5 plus 0.05 equal 2.55. And by using this value in our calculation, we find that the lower limit equal 141,717 and the upper limit equal 155,683. So you see here our confidence interval is longer because we want to be more sure about our conclusion. There is a trade-off. We got a longer interval to be sure that we are 99% from our conclusion. So we saw how to calculate the confidence interval when we have a sample size 30 or more and the population standard deviation is known. What if one of these two conditions are not attained? What if we have less than 30% sample size or the population variance or standard deviation is unknown? In this case, we cannot use this formula, but we are going to use something very close to this formula. We are going to use another distribution. We call that distribution t-distribution. So in the next tutorial, we are going to learn about this distribution.